figured, or I never thought that I'd be interviewing Garth Brooks in my living room. Here we
I'm
are.
surprised how many people make the trip from Maine down to New England for concerts, but I got a lot of buddies up in Maine, and they're all planning on coming down. So this would be kind of like a family reunion for me up in the Northeast.
Oh man, I bet. So big tour coming up. This is your first time at Gillette, right?
Yes, ma'am. And the last year of the tour. So you start to put all these things together, playing the home of champions and knowing that you're never going to do a stadium tour again because it's just too hard on the band and crew. Hell, I'm the last guy in, the first guy out. So it's just pure joy for me. But these people are working their butts off. So it all ends in Ireland, and this is the road to the Emerald City. So this is fun. Didn't think we were going to get this date back because we had to cancel this date because of the pandemic. And saw the schedule for 22 for Gillette Stadium. There was just no way. And the Crafts were sweet enough to find a weekend and said, "Can you play on that weekend?" He said, "You bet your butt we can play on that weekend, no matter what," and figured it out.
That's awesome. So I know you had to cancel the last leg, I should say, of your tour of 2021. Right. How hard is that to make a decision like that as an artist?
That's tough because you've got people, half the people, you know how we are in the nation right now, we're divided half. Half of them are going, "Thank you, thanks for," and then the other half are going, "Why are we canceling all this? I've been through all this stuff." And the thing with on sales for us is try to know that every seat in the house is the same price. So it's not about what you can afford. It's just the luck of the draw on the ticket on sale day. Well, when those people get a good seat, I don't blame them. Now it's over, and it's over when you start again. And if these people are going to give you a second chance, they might not get as good as seats as they did last time. So the thing with this, the silver lining in this for me, the people will be playing for that night, and it might be 50 people. But the 50 people we're playing for that night will be those hardcore kind of just go through it twice kind of thing. Yeah. And that this is going to make for a very, very magic night for me.
I know the last time we talked to you too, that you mentioned that Mainers know their country music. They are a huge fan of yours. So I had to kind of pass the mic to them. We put out on social media, if you could ask Garth Brooks anything,
cool.
What would it be? So we got a few responses. So here's one. What is the best part of being on tour?
Oh, it's being with the family. So if you ask firemen what's the best part of being a fireman, or baseball players, it's the locker room. It's that time together. So try to remember the 7 guys that started this in the late 80s. There's 5 of us that are still out there on the road, on stage together. And then all the original crew guys are there. So this is a family. So in this pandemic, try to realize also we haven't got to see them. So when you roll into the stadium and get to see these guys, see how their kids are doing, you hug them, it just kicks everything off, and it's only going to get sweeter as showtime approaches. And then when showtime comes, here comes all these friends that fed you when you couldn't afford to feed yourself and housed you when you couldn't afford to, house yourself. And you see them in the crowd and you love them. And it just keeps getting better with every second.
Oh, that's awesome. What is your favorite collaboration you've ever done?
Well, anything with Trisha Yearwood is pretty amazing because she's such a vocalist. I'm not saying this because, like I'm sleeping with her or anything. I'm saying it because she is the greatest female singer there is. And so she pushes you to be the best that you can be. And she'll take you to places that you didn't know you could go. And then you think, oh, I can't go there by myself without her. And then when you start to do your own solo gig, you see what you learned with her coming back. So she's my favorite. Try to remember, I was lucky enough to get things to do with Chris Ledoux, George Jones, my heroes, right? Mm-hmm. George Strait. Those are big time.
Speaking of Trisha, people want to know if she's going to be joining you on stage at any point too.
The Queen and I both were married before we got married to each other. And so we ask each other, why are we being married to be apart? So we go everywhere together. We do everything together. Her gigs, I'll go with her. My gigs, she'll come to me. Whether she shows up on stage or not is just like a last minute call from her or whatever, how she's feeling, how the crowd's going, all that stuff. I will tell you this, and if this sounds egotistical, please forgive me. If you and I are graced with her coming out on stage, it'll be a night you'll never forget, man, because you'll be going, holy cow, this is live, but listen to that voice, because I think it's even better than her records. When she comes out and sings live, we're all lucky if we get to hear that.
Oh, you're so sweet. All right. And a lot of people want to know when you're coming back to Maine. When are you coming to see us, man?
I can tell you this, not soon enough. We played Portland, we played Bangor, and it's just what I love about it is I don't know how Oklahoma got that far northeast, but it's all the people that I was raised with, just hardworking people that pay their taxes and take their kids to soccer practice. And when you talk about the heart and soul of what I think this country stands for, there it is. And I'm very much at home among those kind of people.